Welcome to Bloodbath and Beyond. Today we review Sharknado 5 Global Swarming. Make America bait again.
Directed by Anthony C. Ferrante, starring Tara Reid, Ian Ziering, Cassandra Scerbo, Masiela Lusha, Olivia Newton-John, and Chris Kattan. This film takes place several years after The Fourth Awakens. Little Gil is grown up. Still a little shithead, but it doesn't matter. There's Sharknadoes that everybody needs to deal with. So Finn and April, Cassandra Scerbo, Nova is back. They basically need to combine forces and rid the entire world of Sharknadoes. So what do we like?
Biggest thing I like about this film, Cassandra Scerbo as Nova is back. She wasn't in the fourth one. Absolutely hated that. She's back in this one. A dominant character. I love Nova. Like, she is probably one of the best characters in this series other than Finn.
And I think she got a little bit better in my books when she did the Warrior Princess thing.
Yeah, she could totally pull off Xena Warrior Princess if they rebooted it. She had this whole sisterhood of Sharknadoes. She was like the coolest one in this movie in my opinion. It was so good having her back.
I like that we're exploring the world and it's nonsensical. They continuously just jumped around the world from Australia to London to all different places, and it was nice to see Sharknadoes in different environments and seeing how they can use the environment to tackle it.
I also liked that they stepped back with the Sharknadoes, because in the fourth one, they were playing off of the joke way too much by having different NATOs. And in this one, they just kind of stuck with one, and that's what I like. It kind of went back to its roots with the first one.
Semper Paratus. Right, Dad?
At the same time, they're also trying to like undo stuff that they may have like overdone, specifically in Tara Reid's character April, where they made her like be able to fly all over the place, and they kind of realized that halfway through the movie, like, okay, we're taking away half your powers and we're giving you some new ones, but you're not going to be nearly as strong.
So we couldn't repair your flight module. You can't fly anymore.
But we did upgrade your cyberkinetics.
I hated Gil at the beginning, and then I loved Gil at the end. Gil is Dolph Lundgren from the future.
Hi, Dad.
It's not possible.
Semper Paratus.
Gil went in time, became a man, figured out how to defeat Sharknadoes, came back to his father Finn, and he's gonna bring him back to save April, Nova, the whole gang.
They're going back to the future. The shark kills were very well done in this movie. Again, over the top, sharks flying around, landing on people, eating people. We had a good variety of sharks killing people, and again, we had a good variety of people fending off the sharks. We had some cool weapons, a lot of deaths. It just was a fun time in that aspect.
Another staple of the franchise is definitely the cameos, in which we had an abundance. There are definitely not as many cameos in this one than there were in 4, but it was fun to try and guess like who's gonna be next. So what are our favorite cameos?
My favorite cameo, which seems to be a trend now in all the Sharknadoes, is when a wrestler cameos. So John Hennigan, aka Johnny Nitro, aka John Morrison, aka Johnny Mundo, he was in this movie, and I absolutely loved his character because he had some screen time, he fought off some sharks with some wrestling moves, and what more could you ask for?
Who else wants to go to Slamtown?
There were a couple that I really liked. Tony Hawk doing some stuff on the Sydney Opera House. Uhura, Star Trek.
You have gone where no man has gone before.
I think one of the best ones was Bret Michaels.
Oh my god, I just killed Bret Michaels!
He kind of pulled some Mad Max shit, and he's like on the front of the bus like playing guitar. I thought that was great.
I think one of the cameos most people appreciated on Twitter was when Geraldo appeared.
Get ready for a massive scientific event.
The vault is empty.
Same thing with Pope Fabio. And then another one that not a lot of people probably even would have recognized. I'm a big Flava of Love fan, and I love New York. And so New York was in this movie, and I was just like, what the fuck is she doing in here?
I also appreciated that Chris Kattan was in this movie, because, you know, we haven't seen him in a while, and good for you getting back into the game.
Now let's move on to our dislikes.
At first I thought my biggest dislike was gonna be the return of Little Gil. Definitely did not like Little Gil, so I was happy that he wasn't in it a lot, but I was still mad to see him in it. But put that aside, My dislike has to be killing off Nova and Gemini. That was the dream team, and I felt like Goldust walked in and shattered my dreams.
I didn't really like the flow of the whole movie. Like, it's gotten to the point where I think, like, I'm about done with it. Like, when they started killing everyone off, I'm like, you know, maybe this is the right decision. Everything seemed a little bit more bland. I mean, this wasn't as, like, populated with cameos as the fourth and the third and the second were. When you're making a series that's based on one-upping itself and trying to, like, completely blow everyone's expectations, I don't think this movie did it, to be honest.
What really suffers from this movie is the fact that Thunder Levin, who has been involved with this film, writing the first one right to the fourth one, he stepped down and didn't really write this one. And you could definitely tell that this is not a Thunder story. At the time when we were watching this, I tweeted out to him in hopes that he's taking a break to do Mutant Vampire Zombies from the Hood 2. I need this in my life, but you could definitely tell that this is not similar to what the predecessors were. I was also disappointed that David Hasselhoff was not in this one. They had Matt back at home.
The Colonel, Claudia, everyone is dead.
It was great having someone like Nova back, which ups your game, but taking away other characters brings it back down.
Now it's time for our final thoughts and ratings. Sharknado 5 was what you would expect from a Sharknado movie, except it wasn't as cool. Yes, they were going all over the world and crazy shit was happening, but there was nothing that was, like, way over the top that really captivated me. Half of the cameos I probably missed. Maybe I just didn't know who they were. The shark kills were fine enough, but we've seen all of this before, so this didn't do anything to elevate the game. Instead, it was a step back. I do think that there's hope for the series because if they go back in time, they can play with dinosaurs and shit. They can have dinosaur-nados. So I'm gonna give this 2 snowboarding fins out of 5.
Surf's up.
I feel like the Sharknado franchise has run its course. I don't really want to see the 6th one. I'm going to watch it in hopes that that is the conclusion, but this film did nothing that made me think, wow, that was new and different. The shark kills are great, and I had a good time watching those, and the cameos I did see, I really appreciated. It's just the gimmick of watching it live and tweeting is probably the best part, so if you miss that, you're kind of missing a whole community and aspect of the film that a lot of people experience firsthand. It's still a fun time, it's just not the best one in the franchise. So with that being said, I'm gonna have to give this film 2 shark helmets out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't, there are links in the description where you can find it. If this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.